Hello, everybody. My name is Christian. I'm the host of the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show, and I know you guys gonna love today's guest. I had the opportunity to meet with her just a few weeks ago, and it was one of those travel days. We were coming up from Manhattan. Every single thing which could get wrong went wrong, but we made it here on time, and I met her. You guys gonna love her. She is from a place called Canada, whatever they're doing up there. But I know you guys gonna love her, and you guys gonna meet her right after this. Hello again, my name is Christian. I'm the host of the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show, and you guys gonna love today's guest. I met her a few weeks ago at a podcast I did with a really good friend of mine, Matt. She's out of Canada, and she works for a company called Entegra. And for me, I absolutely love Entegra. I know a lot of the listeners know that, and you guys gonna love today's conversation. Not only she's an amazing human being, she's really, really good in saving people money. And I know a lot of you guys need that. So with that, I want to welcome Miss Barbara Bell. How are you? And thanks for being here at the Disruptive Chef Show.
Oh, thank you, Christian. This is awesome. I'm very excited. I got all dressed up and dolled up for you guys. When you work from home, you kind of, things always don't always look that good, but I did it. So I'm very excited. I love my conversation we had a few weeks ago and look forward to carrying on and talking more.
I'm really looking forward to this conversation. And so our audience, if you haven't done so, make sure you save this episode or send it to somebody you know who is looking for a little bit of saving on the tail end. And I know today we're going to talk a little bit about it, how you can do a savings. And not only that, you guys got to meet Barbara. She's absolutely amazing in what she does. So with that, Barbara, you are extremely handsome, okay? So why food service? You can do so many other things. How did it all start for you?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a bad question. Oh my God. I'm going to take you back. I'm going to take you back to when I was a little girl and my dad owned a pub. And I would, every Sunday, I was about 6, he would drag us to the pub and I'd have to clean the bathrooms and all this stuff. So my father was into food service right away. He was not a chef or anything by trade, but he was an entrepreneur. So he owned a restaurant in Vancouver and a pub on Vancouver Island. We lived on this island. I lived on Vancouver Island, then I lived on an island off the island. So in this really little tiny island with 750 people, and we had our own cows and we had our own garden, and we would go pick our own oysters and we fish our own salmon. So we had a plethora of food and nothing really to do. So we got into entertaining. So I really leaned into cooking, entertaining. I love to make people happy and healthy, and have fun. And so my dad wanted me to be a banker or a brain surgeon. And I said, no, I want to go to the hotel restaurant management school. And that's where it went, literally from there to there. So, and I love it. And it's in I always say that like olive oil flows through my veins. I don't have blood. I have olive oil. So, because I love this industry. I truly love it.
I absolutely love that. So it's all your parents' fault. That's what I'm hearing. Because
absolutely. Might as well blame them.
The worst. Now, my audience knows for me, I wanted to be a surgeon or a pilot. And my dad said, okay, you can go out and do what you want to do. So I went to a year pre-med, and there was the day we'll never forget this. There was this 57-year-old guy, and they made a decision. So I said, okay, ABC, my name, Christian. Okay, Christian, you first. Cut him right here. I was like, I cut him? So I cut him because I practiced on melons and other stuff, but cutting for the first time.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have my mask on all the way, and then that smell from the inside, I passed out. Okay. And as I kind of came to it, I was sitting in the brew room, and they were saying, okay, clean out your desk. This thing is done for you. You want to be a chiropractor. I was like, okay. I can So I came home on Tuesday from school, and my dad said, "What happened?" So I told him the story, and he said, "What are you going to do with your life?" I said, "I take the summer off." He says, "Okay, you have to Thursday." And on Thursday, he brought me to a hotel. Nobody in 9 years finished their apprenticeship. So I was in there, and it was probably one of the toughest places. And but it was one of those things which totally changed my career. And what I loved about that most was the people I met. And eventually I graduated with 4 degrees. So for me, I when I hear that story that you parents were the influence for you, and you said, no, no, no. I want to do hospitality. So I absolutely love the story. So how did it then start for you? So where did you start? How did it work in between? And how did you wind up in Entegra?
Oh, wow, that's a journey. That's a journey, Kristen. I finished my program with the hospitality program over in Vancouver, and I wanted to be. I truly wanted to be the. I thought I walked out and I could be the general manager of a hotel. That was my dream, right? I did my 2 years school. I can go do this, right? Well,
Yeah.
not so much. So off I went to Vancouver, British Columbia, and started within independent food service. I ended up owning my own restaurant in Soyuz, BC. It was called Madame Trout's, right on the lake. I'm not going to tell you how I came up with that name because it might not be appropriate for your audience, but so you can phone me later and I'll tell you the story on how we came up with that. And then I went off to Whistler and I worked for the Delta hotel chain. Mm-hmm. And things just weren't working there, So I was doing my bounce. Everybody does their bounce through the industry, and you trying this, you trying that. So I came back to Vancouver Island, and I got into distribution. Mm-hmm. So at that time, it was North Douglas Distribution, but it became Cisco, and that is where I really landed my large portion of my career was within distribution. So I got to. I never considered myself a salesperson because I just would never give anybody something that they didn't need because I understood their side. So I would love to work. I worked with everybody from the Wickaninnish to Clackwalk Wilderness to the mums and pops to people all over size and breadth and depth in the restaurant industry, in the food service industry. And I loved it. And I had 13 chefs working with me. And, it just was my dream job, my dream, because I love helping people. I truly love helping people to succeed in whatever they're doing, right?
I love that story. I absolutely love the story because for me, it just resonates because the very first time I met you and to our audience, I did a podcast with Entegra Canada and you and I were on it. And afterwards, the host, Matt, is a friend of mine. So I said, Matt, tell me more about Barbara. He says, oh my God, Christian, you will love her. That the way she was on podcast, that's how she is in real life. And she really, 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 really loves helping people. And so for me, even the very first time we met, I absolutely love that because I honestly feel if you are in the industry and you call to be in the industry, nothing else matters. And this industry is one of those industries, they not doing well with saying, hey, kind of just play around here, you in it or you're out. And I absolutely love that. And the conversation, so if our audience has time, check out Canada Entegra. You can hear that conversation. It was absolutely amazing. And for me, what I loved about it is how much I felt, oh my God, she thinks just the way I do. So you in this field, you in the restaurant, so we're doing all of that. Where did Entegra come from?
So I got a gap year. I got a gap year. Cisco did some restructuring. I got a gap year. I didn't have it back when, university. So I took it then. And I got a call and I went into marketing. So I went into marketing. So website, digital marketing, social media. I enjoyed that. Again, helping people. But I needed hospitality. I needed to be around food and people and fun. And I got a call and they said, hey, would you like to come back into the hospitality world, in the GPO world? And I said, oh, please. Oh, these I would love to because I've missed it so very much. So that was just 3 years ago, and I absolutely love it because I get to take all my experience and all my business acumen from the moment I cleaned the bathrooms in my dad's pub to today, of all the ins and outs and places I've crossed and touched, front of house, back of house, um, that I can now share
Yeah.
with people. Like I ever tell, whatever I have up here is yours. Just
Yeah.
ask, you can have it. I'm here to help you succeed, truly. And that's truly in my heart. That's I can't do anything but that. So that's how I've ended up at Entegra.
So, talk to our audience a little bit. A lot of them don't understand, or they're not really sure what they heard of Entegra. They heard of GPOs. So, talk to us a little bit. What is the benefit of partnering with somebody like Entegra, and what's in it for the customer?
Okay. So I'm going to just wind the clock back just a little bit, just so that you get a really understanding. So when I was with Cisco, we partnered with the GPO Entegra, and I would walk in with Cisco and, I'd sell you your food and I'd go, "Hey, Christian, just sign here." And you'd go, "What's that, Barbara?" And I'd go, "Oh, just sign it. It's free money." And you go, "Free money?" And I'm like, "Yeah, free money." And you go, "Okay, well, I trust Barbara. We've been working together." So you sign it, and every quarter you get a check, and you just like in free money fall out of the air. You're like, "How did this happen?" I'd like, "I don't know, but let's go with it." So that was kind of that GPO of yesterday, right? Like, and it was good. It was good. But today is a different thing. Today the industry really struggles from every aspect. I mean, you think about, my cousin has a retail. She's in retail, so women's clothing, and the stuff that I see, that the struggles within food service are second to none. Like, nobody else struggles in food service. The dynamics, the ups, the downs, all the things that you have to do within food service is crazy. And why do you want to go it alone? And this is what the GPO world is now, Entegra is now doing, is we're leaning into procurement partner. So what does that mean by procurement partner? We're not the buyers. We're not buying for you. But what we do is we go out, we hear what your needs are, we go and we look and we research and we find a good fit for your needs, and we bring it back and present to you. So we're that procurement piece. We go and search and we look and take we take all that time and give it back to you, because you give it to us to do. And then when we present our findings, you get to make the decision to buy or not buy.
Yeah.
And that's what really we do. So we are a free resource for you to work with, to help you find these things that are tough to find. Googling things now is really, really difficult. It's hard to get in there. You don't have the understanding or the knowledge of what this company that is on that flat screen has, or what their credibility is. We already have that because we work with them too, right? So yeah, how does, did that make sense, Christian?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because so for us, we see a lot of people which heard of a GPO, they heard of Entegra, but they're not really sure what is the benefit for me. Not just what's the benefit. You know what? I'm too small, or hey, they don't understand my business. And for me, we hear this all. But for me, if you're not part of a buying program, go out, seek anybody else, and to our listeners, text me, email me, connect with Barbara, because everybody should have somebody. And for me, there's two major reasons why you need to have somebody. Number one, you can go research all this stuff on your own. But having somebody who did the vetting, they know exactly where the customers fall into, where the vendors fall into. So it's easier for them to bring you something a lot better to your table than what it is to, figure it out on your own. And I'm a big believer. For me, I was this guy, I do it myself. I'm gonna do it myself. But having the first one, and I will never forget this, my first GPO, the gentleman, his name was George. And George always said, it's funny what you said about it. He didn't call it free money. He said it's Christmas money. And so, because when the checks came, and he always said, he says, the reason I love what a GPO I work for, because it helps you the small operator to play the same game as the big guys. And for me, I still use this today. He was absolutely right. And so for me, and to our listeners, if you currently are in the food service industry and you have any kind of operation, you need to reach out to some GPO, whichever connects with you. But I encourage you to do it because it allows you to play with the big guys. So, but I'm focused on you, Barbara. So you go ahead.
Yes,
So,
and I just want to add something to that, Christian, if you don't mind. Like, I just really want to, because we talk about free money and there's cost savings in that, but what you get to tap into is like, I'm one of the many people that work for Entegra that has this business acumen this wide and this deep in the food service industry, but there is lots of other folks that have this similar resumes in other areas that you get to tap into. So why wouldn't you tap into a free resource? Instead of asking yourself, why would I, ask yourself, why wouldn't I?
I totally agree. Anyway. Because to that, you spot on, because I used to spend hours researching stuff and actually having somebody, and especially if you trust that person, and say, hey, I have a problem with this. And I want to actually, this is my next question for you, because a lot of people feel if I want to save cost, I sacrifice quality. And that's not true. And it's true if you do it wrong, okay? But if you partner with the right partner. So talk to us a little bit about that stigma where everybody talks about, hey, I don't want to do this because if I partner with somebody, I sacrifice cost, sacrifice quality.
Yeah, no. and when we go out to our vendor community to negotiate contracts, so we have a huge group of what we call supply managers that are constantly negotiating contracts for our customers, right? So we have customers over here and we have vendor partners over here. We have the ability, like the criteria that our vendor partners have to go through is very strict. Third party liability, are you, what's your sustainability practice, diversity practice. So we do all this, and we own the contract. We own the contract, and we let you participate in the contract. And it doesn't matter. It goes back to your point, Christian, where I'm just a small person. I won't save any. It doesn't matter if you have 100 locations or one. You get the same contract, right? So it's really important for you folks out there that think they're too small. You're never too small, please. So when we own the contract, we also vet the contract and we support you. So if you're having quality issues or you're having concerns, we go back and we leverage our global power, which is $42 billion, our global power to make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah. We also have like a variety, like if you need fire suppression or something like that within your kitchen, we don't just have one, we have a couple for you to choose from. So you have, we just don't say, oh, here you go buy from them. You have all of us behind, working with you and supporting you and making sure we're delivering on what we said, because also our parent company uses those vendors as well. So we have Sodexo as our parent company. So they actually have businesses, Paris Olympics, Eiffel Tower. They run, I think they did the Super Bowl. So they have high standards too. And that's why, we can drive and make sure that we're delivering quality through our programs with our vendor partners.
I love that. So if there's one of our partners looking for a GPO, because one of the things you always talk about is it needs to be a fit. So how do you recommend they, first off, searching for the right partner, and how about, because they know there's the right partner, but that sales guy or that representative I just don't connect with him. How can any of our listeners get through that?
Well, they can phone me. No, they can phone me. But if you have a GPO in place already, here's what I want you to ask yourself. What is your GPO doing for you right now? And maybe it's even Entegra. Maybe we're not doing anything for you that you feel is valuable. But ask yourself this second question. Have you leaned into your GPO? Have you said, hey, what do you do? Have you tried to understand what your GPO does? Because also we always, when we're in the food service industry, our first thing, we always think food, obviously, right? Food is everything, right? But we do so much more than that. We have services, we have furniture, partnerships, we have marketing partnerships, we have oh my god, we have plateware. You need glassware, plateware. You're building a new restaurant. We got like Tiga Solutions, who will come in and they'll design if you want. They'll manufacture your chairs, your booths. We have people that do they'll redo your banquettes with all the with all the material. It's endless. So especially if you're just focusing in on your GPO on this one side with food, you're missing out over here. So take a step back, go back out to the curb in front of your restaurant and go, wow, my GPO can actually do everything from roof to parking lot. And I haven't tapped into that. Right. And if they don't lean into it with you, then phone another GPO. Right.
Because I love what you said, because for me, when we talk to customers around GPOs, they said, oh, it didn't work for me because they didn't have the right products. And, my second question is, did you ask the right question? Because they have more than just one chicken. They have, and not only that, did you ask their support people to come in? And they said, what do you mean support people? I said, they have chefs, they have category managers, they have all of that. And he said, that guy never told me that. And so for me, it's disheartening because there's still some people out there selling like that. But if I can have, and you actually articulated that perfectly, if I can have that free resource, and I say free because there's three major benefits to any operator. First of all, you have somebody who is working on your behalf, because as you buy certain products, they will make money. So if you make money, they make money. The second thing is, have you ever found that perfect fish guy, but he wants to be paid COD, or you have to pay him within 3 days? If you partner with somebody like you always have the same pay cycle. It makes it so easy. And the best thing for me around this whole thing is, you do not have time to do the research really to find all of those different things. Can you imagine if you have to do food, plateware? Oh, I need new, I'm renovating. I need new chairs. I need new couches. I need new stuff. The amazing resources some of those GPOs have, it's absolutely amazing. So for me, if I hear somebody saying, oh, I had a GPO, I didn't get out of it what I wanted to, my next question is, did you ask him for it? Because if you go to any, and that's, it doesn't matter if it's Entegra or not, but if you go to any of them, they will help you. And the reason we as an organization partnered with Entegra, because they're hands down the best. And for me, they always have been the best. They the most customer focused. And I always say to my thing, you guys, we need to have Barbara. We need to steal her and come to the US. But that's a whole separate conversation, because Canada, yeah.
I'll come down, no problem. And Christian, I just want to share with you kind of an example, with your listener, with the audience. So this Friday, I have a meeting with a customer, and this is the really important thing that you need to do. You need to connect with your person at your GPO. So this Friday, I have a meeting with a customer that has 17 locations here in BC. We were meeting monthly, but that became too much. That was sort of a new customer. So we just got to know each other, right? And now we're going quarterly. So this Friday, I'm going to talk to them about cod, because we need to find a better solution for their cod to reduce their costs on that. Their chicken thighs. I've got some vendor partners that are going to do some work on their chicken thighs, because that's their number 2 seller. I'm looking at Tiga, which is a solution partner because they're building a new restaurant. So they need some chairs and tables and design. And they're trying to reduce their turnaround time, because that supply chain is getting too long on that FF&E, OS&E side. It's getting way too long. So we're trying to reduce their costs. And I'm talking to them about Spinergy, which is a really cool, we're leaning into the tech stack on how they can monitor their equipment throughout their building, one, to reduce their insurance, but also for their maintenance, right? Before the HVAC or the cooler goes down, they have little sensors and they tell you right away that, hey, there's a blip. You should check this out. So that's what I'm talking to on Friday with my customer. So that's
awesome.
what you need to do, right? That's what people need to meet. Take time, because I promise you 1, 2, 3, 4 things that I've taken off their plate, and I'm bringing them back the research, the ideas, the solution, and all they have to do is say yes.
I love that. And as an operator, so if you guys, and I'm talking to our listeners, if you are currently working with a GPO or if you think of working with on, I encourage you to meet with them bi-monthly. And the reason that is, so once a month, they need to come as customers. I always said, you need to bring 4 people. There needs to be a minimum of 4 of you guys, because it's all on me. Because the feedback you will get on your food, because if they know, hey, we in this together, they give you honest feedback. I don't want to have somebody come which bullshits me, okay, because then it's wasted money. But if you have somebody come, okay, I had this chicken. Have you thought of using this partner for this? Hey, I had this starch. Hey, have you thought about doing this? And then for me, the best money spent, I always tell all of my clients, is when they come in and they give you honest feedback. And for me, don't talk to them. They coming in, they guess, they come back and say, hey, from the last time, I want you to do this, this, and this. And that's, for me, the single best way of how to use somebody. And then when they come back the next time and says, hey, this is the priority. I want this, 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 and this, and have them do the work on it. So, but having them come in as a secret shop or whatever you want to call it, for me, is the single best way, because they give you honest feedback. And for me, that's what I always loved. I didn't need somebody to tell me you were great, because I have customers for that. I needed somebody who said, hey, have you thought about, why are you using this? This is too high of a quality, or hey, this is the wrong cut for this. And for me, the first time I heard that, I was like, I'm offended by that. What are you seeing at the wrong cut? And he was right. So having the right person which looks out for you is the single best game changer you have. So for me, if you have time, research Entegra, research any of the other GPOs, because you should be part of it today. So with that, Barbara, I'm more focused on you. So now you're in this world and you're doing all this amazing stuff. How does Barbara stay current of what's going on in the industry?
Oh, by talking to people like you. by networking.
Right answer. Okay, this is done. Okay, great. See you next week. No,
but it's true.
Honestly, it's not. So I go back. So I'm still friends with George. Okay, his name was George Brovera. My guy. He's in his late 70s, and I talked to him. And you know what he said to me just a few weeks ago? The hardest thing for me is not to stay current. And because this guy hasn't been in the industry in over 15 years. And, in our industry, this is a very long time. But he says, I love to go to shows. I love to talk to customers. This is my thing. And for me, I absolutely loved it. And that's why I know why I loved him so much as he worked for me. So, but what do you do? How do you stay current? Because as an operator, it's really difficult to stay current. And staying on top of what's happening. So for me also, I want to break it down into 3 things. The first thing is the knowledge base. So how do you stay current?
Well, I hate to say this. I love my LinkedIn. I loved I love my LinkedIn, and I follow some very specific people on there. I find that is a really good knowledge base that you can find. And it's good. There's not, like you get into the social media, you get into the Instagram and all that stuff, and there's opinions, but they, I find that it's much more professional and better resources within LinkedIn. I do a lot of reading. I'm a real big, reader. And I truly, what I do? I stay networking with people of all ages in all the industry. I continue to go out and talk to people, what's happening, what are you hearing, what are you seeing? Because what I see, and in my biases, is maybe I need to find out, like, and that's how I learn, is I learn and listen from other people, so I hear their points of view, so then I grow from there too, right? And I go from people from back east to I connect with everybody. So networking, and I use my resources as much as I possibly can. So that's how I stay current, is just
No,
getting, what I think the word is, get curious. Get curious in anything. You know what else I've been dabbling into, and I've been getting very curious with, is the Chat GPT, with the whole AI thing. And I have been doing lots of research and learning on that. I tell you, it's very, very interesting. Scary, I get it from some people,
I
but very
absolutely love
interesting.
that. And so
Yeah.
the reason we have Create up here is because I'm a big believer in creating conversation. The chair I'm
Yes.
sitting on, I have this desk like this corner like desk, and there was somebody who said to somebody, "Oh, we need to build this desk. It should be like this, where you could slide up and you connect it to your Apple Watch, and then you can stand up on it automatically." And somebody said, "Oh my God,
That's
this
good.
is absolutely what we need to do." And people build it. So I honestly think we're creating conversation. I love what you said. And that's actually my next question. Because we, as an organization, we dove in the last 6 months heavily into AI. So we're currently using just about 30 different AI tools. Some of them are good, some of them are not great. So we kind of been flushing this out, because I know if you don't use 3 to 5 tools a day, you're staying behind. So talk to me a little bit. Where do you feel in the hospitality industry? Where is AI going? How do you stay current in
Well, the other, it's through our vendors, and like George said, I think that was your friend George, going to
that?
those conferences, those shows, those events. That's where you stay current too. For me,
Yeah.
I try and attend as much as I can, even though it's like, oh my gosh, here we go again. But there is lots of new ones that are coming out, that are very interesting. That if you come away with one or two nuggets, it's totally worth it. And the tech stack is emerging everywhere. I mean, that was a gap that we saw within our industry, and that but we're growing in there, like
Yeah.
techno
Yeah.
tip. Now there's a touchless tip, and I think the I think the restaurant industry needs to lean into it, from the QR codes, from the techno tip, from all this, because as we get more and more technical savvy, and the younger people move up, we got to remember that generation's moving up. Like, there's kids now coming into the purchasing world that have had Apple and these phones in their hands from the day they were born. We do that, but we have to still stay in touch with nature, right? So it's that fine balance to me, by making sure we're still doing quality, but how do we integrate the technology into our businesses and our homes too, but still stay humanized, right? Still stay that human, because that's what we want. That's and there's so much coming out, and it's coming out really, really fast. I mean, you even think Rational ovens, right?
Mhm.
Rational ovens, fabulous product. And if you think about that, technology of yesteryear, but still very good and moving
Yeah.
forward to help you within your kitchen and improve improve on things, improve on your shrink and your food costs, and your consistency of what your plate goes out. But
Mhm.
you're still able to humanize, because you're still buying good quality stuff, and actually you're improving the quality. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm spot on, because for me, we actually took a few trainings with AI, and we currently enrolled in high level training with
Mm.
AI, and they presented to us 100 things, and I was floored. The very first meeting, I was like, 100? I used two. What do you mean 100? It's crazy. And
Yeah.
so for me, there's some really great technology out there for accounting side. You could
Yeah.
do the pivots and all the table stuff on, but there's a really awesome program out there which does it by itself. But for me, where the benefit really lies for any of the operators, especially hospitality, is I said is customer service. So for me, how great would it be if you have a trained by you service person taking reservations 24/7? How great would it be? Because how great would it be if your customer or your guest knows that I can make a reservation at 2 o'clock in the morning or 10 a.m. and there's always somebody there. So for me, that's number one. Number two is training your staff. Because for me,
Mm.
there's one program we've been exploring, which kind of does, it measures you what you spend time on every day. And then every week it kind of goes, but then when you're in 5 weeks, it comes with a report and saying, you wasted 2 hours doing this last week, and just kind of seeing where is there opportunity not to work harder, but work smarter. And if
Yes.
I can save 2, 4 hours, I invested back in training my staff. I mean, for me, I was like, I need that now, and so it's amazing what's out there. And then the final thing is, for me, and that's my now I'm on the soapbox. I'm the one pet peeve for me is people's website. And
Oh,
if
I'm
your
with
website,
you.
yeah,
I am
I go there
so.
for dinner. I see the website, I want to cry. I was like, no. And because the website is your salesperson, the website should be better than you. You know what? It should be the full expectations. When you come in, you knew you went to the right place. And for me, I have a really good friend of mine who has a restaurant and he has stuff on it from 1918 on his website. And I keep telling him, I don't know, but it's 7 years, okay? In the food service industry, this is might as well be 15 years. Why do you have photos on it from from 6 years ago or 7 years ago? No, it needs to go. And for me, I think that's my thing. That's where
Oh,
AI is
yes.
really, really good at. And his food is so good. He is so customer focused. He does amazing. He has 6 restaurants. He does really, really well. But when you go to his website, and then he says, "Oh, nobody comes on my website. Come over from word of
Oh,
mouth." Yeah, because your website is crap, and that's really it's true.
I am so with you. I am like high-fiving you because truly, trust me. And you know what? It's not, let me tell you what else people do. When they build their website, they build it for their desktops. 80% of the people use these things here to source your restaurant. This is what we do to find everything. My husband doesn't even have a laptop. I have one because I work with one. And so what happens is when you design a website that's for a laptop and you don't design, and then it shrinks to a iPhone, like a phone, sorry, iPhone, but a phone, it doesn't work well. You need to design it for a phone and it expands out to a desktop, right?
So
And if Oh my gosh. And it makes me crazy. Here's the other thing. Please make your phone numbers work. Please, please help. When I go to your website and I click on please have it so it dials. And Kristen and I are older and we are patient because we never grew up with this. But let me tell you,
I'm
your
with you.
coming customers, if you don't have this dialed in, they will not find you.
I mean, for me, the reason I laugh so much is there's this really good restaurant we go into. It's Asian fusion, and my kids love noodles. And we go there and we said we want to make a reservation. I call and it's this automated thing. I call it a thing because it didn't sound like a person. And today AI is much better than that. It kind of went through the thing. If you want to make a reservation, press one. I pressed one. Okay, thank you for coming. And it started all over again. And I was like, there's not enough deodorant, in the house for this conversation. So I went there and he says, oh, I'm sorry. I was wondering, nobody called the last 3 days. I forgot to turn the machine on. I
So we need to, just like at our homes, right? Let certain things take care of, like let AI take care of, but let us take care where it needs to be humanized. Like, right, like Kristen, you talk about people coming in and trying your menu. Well, let them start like from your website in and find those pinch points, because anytime there's a pinch point, people are out. That's it. We have no patience anymore. Because of our 1, 2, 3, if we haven't found what we want within 3 swipes on our phone or within Google on the first page, we're out. So our patience is gone. So and the big companies that you buy a lot every day from on they've done such a wonderful job with that, and there's no pinch points. It's seamless. That's why they grew exponentially, right? That's what you need to look for, pinch points within your industry from the moment somebody decides, I want to come for dinner.
Okay, awesome. Miss Barbara, I can talk to you forever. And but I want to do something we do with all of our guests, and it's called Rapid Fire Food Service Edition. But before we do this, can you give our audience a little bit of cliff note? How can they learn more about Barbara Bell? How can they learn more about Entegra? And how can they learn about more of the things you're up to?
Oh, well, I'm on LinkedIn. Barbara Bell is on LinkedIn. I don't really do much on other social media. I'm quite blocked on that. But for sure on LinkedIn, reach out to me. I'm not too sure what more I can tell you on that. Entegra, you can go on Entegra ps.ca and find us. I can give Christian my email address, and you can email me, because I can talk to people all day about this industry. And trust me, I'll come and help you out. Trust me, I would love to come and help you out.
I really appreciate it. And I will have her information in the show notes. You guys just need to follow her. And I honestly believe what I love about Entegra more than anything, if you have a problem in the US and you call Barbara in Canada, she will help you. And that's the coolest thing about that. So with that, Ms. Barbara, are you ready to play rapid fire question food services?
Let's do it. I'm nervous. Do I?
You should be. You should be.
I know. Like, are you ready?
Mackenzie from my team writes these, and she changes them every week. See, she's the meanest person. She's the meanest person.
Okay, that's okay. And I'm going to answer honestly, just so you know.
So the way this works, Ms. Barbara, is there's 25 questions. I will ask you for a question. You give me the number. I read out the question. And the answers are always the same. Yes or no, and why. Because we are food service. We are nosy. We want to know why you said that. It's easy to say yes or no. That's not enough for us. We want more. Okay, and that's the why. So are you ready to play rapid fire question food service?
Let's lean into it. Okay. Let's go.
Awesome. Miss Barbara, give me the first question between 1 and 25.
Let's go 13, my son's birthday.
13 is a bad number because this is a oldie but goodie. Pineapple on the pizza. Yes or no, and why?
Yes. Hands down. Yes.
There's a movement of get it off. Get it off. Get it off.
It doesn't have to be with ham. It can be, that sweet with that tangy. Oh.
There's a movement, I'm telling you. It's okay. Give me a question between 1 and 25.
Let's go 21. Ooh,
21. Like oh, I love this one. So, should you ever have a mystery dish option on your menu just for shits and giggles? Yes or no, and why?
Yes, for sure. 100%.
Why?
And you know why? I'm going to tell you. It's going to take a little bit to tell you. Okay. It won't. I'll be quick. I had a restaurant, beautiful restaurant just down the road from me, the Maley House. Beautiful restaurant, like high-end, fresh, grow their own garden. The farmer, the honey from the Wednesday nights, I used to go there and sit with the owners, and we'd sit on the stool and we'd just play around, and I'd take her order, and it would be boring, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, smoking busy, right? Like off the charts. Wednesday, nothing. They were closed Sunday, Mondays, or Monday, Tuesdays. Anyway, so they finally did. I said, hey, because they rotated their menu all the time. Mm-hmm. And then they said, what do you think about this, Barbara? What if we did a mystery dinner on Wednesday nights? And I said, oh, what do you mean? Well, you just come in, you tell us what you will not absolutely get allergic to. But other than that, we just do it. You sit down. I said, you should try it. I think that's awesome. That'll help clean out your freezer, because they were always on a fresh menu, rotation. Well, guess what? You cannot get into the restaurant now, Wednesday nights, 6 months out. Mystery dinner, absolutely, because we all get bored of what and we're all creatures of habit. We always order the same thing, but push it out there and let's get into that.
Listen, I'm with you, but I also know a few customers. How about selectively? Okay, be classy. Be classy when you put that out there. Okay, give me a number between 1 and 25.
Let's go 4.
4. If food can't be eaten with chopsticks, is it even worth eating? Yes or no, and why?
Say that again. If it can't be
If
eaten.
food can't be eaten with chopstick, is it even worth eating? Yes, or no, and why?
Yes, it is, because I love food, and all food is great, no matter if you get to. And sometimes God gave us the best chopsticks. Right?
I'm with you. I'm so with you.
I am there. I am there. So
if you don't give me the tools, I find something.
Let's dig in.
So with you.
I am good with
Amen to that. Okay, give me a number between 1 and 25.
Let's go 19.
19. Should be more dishes be named after people like the heartbreak pie? Yes or no, and why?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Should it be named after peoples?
Yeah, people and people X's, like the heartbreak pie. Yes or no, and why?
That's an interesting one, and I'd go, why not? If it seems like it works for Taylor Swift and her songs, and all these other people to talk about their exes, and if that is what your audience wants,
no, okay.
I mean, I don't know about that one, but
okay, give me a number between 1 and 25.
Let's go 10.
No. Okay, 10.
No. Okay, no.
Well, you have to think, should all foods be served with a surprise ingredient just to have fun? Yes or no, and why?
All foods. Ooh, that's like taking that paintbrush. And, you can't even get me to say yes or no. I'd say yes. I used to work with a chef, and Hubert Scheck, and he would turn, when we were learning from him in our school, he would turn his back. He'd be showing you everything, and then he'd just slightly turn his back, and you could see he would do something, and he would never tell you that final thing or that little thing that he never wanted that made that food go pop. And then you go, oh my gosh, I got to keep coming back here because I can't figure out what's in there that's making this so good, but I'm addicted to this and I got to keep having it.
Love it. Okay. Last question. Give me a number between 1 and 25.
Let's go 11.
11. 11 is chocolate considered a valid topping for nachos? Yes or no, and why?
Woo! Yes, it is, because I do chocolate. Yes, absolutely. I think the salt and the sweet together with the crunch is phenomenal. I use chocolate fondues and dunk them. We used to do nacho chips when we ran out of everything else. So yes,
chocolate on the side. Chocolate on the side.
Go with it. Look at, they do chocolate pizzas. Everybody, and if you think about chocolate, it's a bean, so it's actually a vegetable. It comes from the cocoa bean. It's a bean, so it's healthy for you. It's really good.
So I think that's a little far-fetched, but I know the direction you were going. So with that, I want to say thank you for playing Rapid Fire Question Food Service Edition. So, Ms. Barbara, I absolutely loved this conversation. Before we get going, for anybody who wants to do what you do, what's the final word of wisdom you have for them?
That within within the world that I do is business acumen. You need to know your business. You need to understand business from top to bottom, side to side. Because when I walk into a customer, like when I go into my customer on Friday, I need to know, have a good understanding. I need to understand food costs. I need to understand prime costs. I need to understand their struggles. I need to understand everything from that aspect, so that when I go in to kind of like consult with them, that I'm not telling them something that they're just listening to me and they're going, oh, she doesn't understand me. Right. So just keep getting curious, and don't, some people like to stay in their lane, and that's okay. That's cool too. Like if you like being in your lane and that's where you want to be and that you're comfortable, but if you're not, then branch out. And if you cook but want to try the front of the house, go try the front of the house, or go get curious. Get people to teach you how to food cost. Get them to understand what prime cost is. Some people may not understand what that means, or what does that look like? How do I do this? What is all the ins and outs? So get curious and grow.
That's some really good advice. And with that, I want to say thanks for being here today. Barbara, thanks for the gift of your time. We spent almost an hour together. I know I can talk to you forever. And I know to our listeners, I know you guys know why I said you guys going to love today's guest. So, Miss Barbara, thanks for being here today. Thanks for the gift of your time. Thanks for sharing your wisdom with us. And the rapid fire food, you did okay. Because I had to bring out the no. Okay.
I know. I'm a little bit of a hippie from Gabriel Island, so I was like, sure, what do we got going here? Sure, let's try that.
No, I really appreciate this. We need to do this again. And to our listeners, I appreciate all of you guys. If you haven't done so, make sure you like today's episodes. Let us know what was one or two things Barbara said which pisses you off. Okay, so we can kind of keep this conversation. And also, if you feel there's somebody in your area or somebody you feel who could benefit from these episodes, make sure you send them a copy. So with that, until next time, remember to disrupt your kitchen, fire up your career, stay hungry for change. I'm Christian, the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur host. I'm signing off. Then what that means is me and Barbara are out of here, okay? And so everybody, be the change, be the challenge, and be the chef who sets the world on fire. So, Miss Barbara, I really appreciate you being here. And to our listeners,
Thank you.
Go out there and stay disruptive, everybody. Thanks for being here today.